Hi everyone, it's Laura here with Healthy Places, Surviving Mental Health Stigma Blog. Today I wanted to touch on the idea of stories being a reflection of reality in relation to stories of mental health and mental illness. When I was in university studying literature, one of the things I found the most fascinating was this idea that the writers were essentially writing content that in some way either imitated or gave an idea of the world around them. Even if it's some fantastical story, you could kind of see the themes relating back to reality at that time, whether it was fear of invasion or fear of war or fear of disease. You could see when you looked at the time period for which they were writing that their stories kind of related back to that. And I think we see the same thing today when looking at stories of mental health and mental illness in the fictional world. So even if the story seems to be exploring the origins of mental health and mental illness, it's really interesting to look at the ways they're doing that. And I find sometimes that they rely on myths or stigma-based ideas in order to do this. A lot of the films out there still look at mental health as this kind of foreign concept and mental illness as something that's scary, and people with it, we should be afraid of them and we might catch something from them. There's this idea of a contagion, and even this overall idea that there's not really much hope for these people in getting better. It's just something that we need to hide away from. And when you look at how people in society, even with more open discussion about these issues, are reacting to them, a lot of it is still reflecting on that same narrative of stigma and fear. So I think it's really interesting when these kinds of films come out and how people react to them. I know there are probably tons of people out there who will say it's just a story, it's just a film, it's just a book, it's just whatever. Stop getting so offended by it and stop being so oversensitive. But I think that it's really important to look at these stories as kind of a commentary, I guess, on the world around us. And maybe some of these stories are very much that, just a commentary, but I think we need to pay attention to how they're making that commentary and how it's portrayed on film. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and have a great discussion. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.